Okay, hi. Thanks so much for logging on today. My name is Lauren Bonneau, and I am our Director of Membership at SSATB. I have been with the organization for about 9 years and have worn various hats throughout my tenure here. So that makes it really easy for me to speak with our current and potential members about all of our service offerings, since I myself have actually been involved in a lot of them or all of them at some point. We are recording today's webinar, so the information will be available for you to access at a later date. And we can also share it with the members of your group that maybe weren't able to join us today. We will also have some time at the end to take questions, so I've put everyone on mute for the presentation, but you can use the text box on your screen and type up any questions that come up, and then I can address those at the end. Okay, so we can get started. So I thought it would be helpful to start off with our mission. We are actually in the middle of a strategic plan right now, and our new mission and core values were adopted by our board of directors about 1.5 years ago. Our mission states that SSATB provides unparalleled leadership and service in meeting the admission assessment and enrollment needs of schools, students, and families. And our core values are accessibility, excellence, integrity, leadership, and services. And these are standards that are very much present in all of our work at SSATB. And we really try and emphasize with our members that we are more than just a testing organization, and we actually provide a whole enrollment toolkit to our member schools and organizations. Just to give you a little bit of a glimpse into how our membership breaks down, we are a nonprofit organization with a little over 1,000 members. Obviously, the majority of those are schools, but we also have segments of our membership that include educational consultants and access organizations. So some outlier groups that are still very much invested in the independent school application process. The largest service that we offer our member schools and organizations is our test, the SSAT, which we do believe is the gold standard of admission testing. This year we had approximately 600 test centers in 77 countries. And the nice thing about our test sites is they're comprised of schools. So definitely familiar places for our students and families to go and feel more comfortable. And the most up-to-date listing, if you're ever interested, of our test centers can be found online on our student and family website, which is SSAT.org, which I will show you a little bit more about later on in the webinar. The SSAT is divided into 3 testing levels: the elementary level, which is for students applying to grades 4 and 5, middle level, which is students applying to grades 6 through 8, and upper level, which is administered to students who are applying to grades 9 and up. We have also set up our test dates for next year, which you can see on the screen. It's important to know that the SSAT utilizes what we call standard test dates, which are pre-scheduled dates, usually Saturdays, where the SSAT is offered all over the world. And each year we offer 8 standard test dates from October to June. And we also offer what is called the flex test, which is an authentic SSAT that can be given on any date outside of these 8 standard dates. So with the combination of the 8 standard dates and the flex, a student can actually take the SSAT up to 9 times within an academic year. A different test form is administered each time, so a student will never take the same form of the SSAT, which is integral to both ensuring standardization and security. For all of our school members and access organizations, SSATB provides fee waivers for the SSAT exam. These fee waivers are available through an online portal, which I will actually show you in the next slide, in what we call our fee waiver bank. And it's important to know that we at SSAT are so committed to ensuring that all students have an opportunity to take the SSAT. And in fact, last year we gave over $800,000 in fee waiver funds to member schools and organizations that they can then distribute as needed. So that brings us to what we call our Member Access Portal, or MAP. for short. All SSATB members have their own kind of unique website, a map, which is the school or organization's portal for all things SSATB. So here you can find SSAT scores, inquiries, applications. Any of our test sites will go on here to schedule their testing for the year, as well as school-specific data reports and a lot of valuable resources. So you can see on the home page of the map that we've kind of placed things in 5 main buckets, which you can reach by clicking on any of those 5 colored buttons. When our executive director, Heather Hurl, came to us about 4 years ago, she really took an interest in our technology, and we were able to redesign the old tool we had for members and kind of give them this from now on, which has a lot of functionality and also really streamlines our processes for schools. I have to admit that it is a little near and dear to my heart since I served as one of the architects on the development of the map. But it is something we hold really high, and I meet regularly and almost daily at this point with our IT team to continuously make improvements to this tool based on member feedback. It's certainly of the utmost importance to us to know how schools are interacting with our online system and what works and what could maybe work a little bit better for them. So, a nice portion of my job is collecting that feedback and then really implementing those with our IT and development team. One of the nice features on the map is our delivery of SSAT scores. So we have some nice data points up at the top, so schools can see exactly how many scores they have in. And then we also have the opportunity to deliver scores in real time. So this means if a student has already taken the test and then they add a school to send their scores, the scores are sent to that school immediately. There is no lag or processing time on our end. So in addition to the SSAT, we also offer an online application dubbed the SAO, which stands for Standard Application Online. And this is a completely free offering to our member schools. And we are actually seeing a lot of regional associations adopt the application in order to have common forms and processes amongst schools. So that's been a trend as of late. You can see some quick facts on the slide, but I do want to point out that our online application covers all grades, so from PK to PG. It does offer online recommendation forms, and it is a really quick and easy setup for our members. Some additional stats about the SAO are displayed here. Actually, at this point, we are well over 27,000 submitted applications for the year, and we just continue to see this service grow and grow each year. In fact, we just put out our annual report on this service with some more data and some case studies. So if anyone is interested in receiving that, just let me know and I can get that over to you. My contact information will be at the end of the presentation. One more exciting piece in regards to the SAO is we have recently created a nice, robust, what's called an application programming interface, or API, to integrate scores, applications, and inquiry data into schools' databases pretty seamlessly. So what that all means, because I'm certainly not a tech person, an API is sort of a bridge that takes the data from our system and then can deliver it to your database automatically. So that beautiful member access portal that I just showed you a few slides back, if you had the API in place, you wouldn't actually even have to go there to get scores or applications. You would literally just get into your database and they would already be there, which obviously is very efficient. There is, to be totally upfront, our members that are utilizing the service have had their database company charge for this kind of integration, but we haven't charged our members anything on our side to assist assist our members in these efforts. So schools can use this API for test scores or applications, and we've actually already partnered with a bunch of database vendors, including In Resonance, Veracross, School Admin, Final Site Apply, Senior Systems, and Proof Group. And we are looking to just keep expanding on this list to ensure we can keep giving our schools the most seamless process to getting all the data they need directly into their internal databases. So on the data front, that's always a hot topic I find, especially in the last few years with schools, and it's needed. Everyone's always looking for more and more data, even across all professions, to make informed decisions. And since we have so much data on our end coming in from our tests and online application, we are able to offer our member schools some really terrific reports. So I've outlined a bunch of them here. We could spend a lot of time kind of digging deep on all of them. But the one I really wanted to bring to your attention today is our benchmark exam. So this is specifically designed for a new member school that may be looking to adopt the SSAT as part of their admission process, or kind of give it maybe a little test drive. The benchmark test is an authentic form of the SSAT, and many of our new schools that join typically try to benchmark one grade or maybe a couple grades to then kind of develop norms for comparison purposes. So as they then start beginning to accept SSAT scores from applicants, you can kind of see how they compare to the students that are already enrolled in your school. And this is something that we're happy to offer free of charge to any new member school. And it provides a really nice analysis report so you can see exactly how everyone did and kind of compare different groups of students. The other call out on the data front that I wanted to make is what we call our data dashboards. So these also appear on the map. You can see the little orange kind of rectangle button at the top, which is accessible from anywhere in the portal. And this allows our members to retrieve some great data points, again, in real time, on how their volumes are comparing year over year. A lot of our schools have commented how nice and easy it is to have these stats at their fingertips to then be able to include in board reports. This is another area where we have a really long-term vision, and our plan is to just keep building out these dashboards so we can provide more and more data to our members that then they can use to get a big picture of the landscape. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears a bit. I thought it would be helpful to take a look at how we interact with our student and family customers. First, our families access their own website that is geared toward their needs, which is www.ssat.org. And this is where students can register for SSAT exams, manage their scores, research our member schools and apply, as well as obtain resources on the admission and testing processes. So going back to what I just said about researching member schools, one of the really nice features on our SSAT.org site is that all member schools, regardless of whether you're accepting the SSAT or not, appear in what we call our school search. So students and families can use filters, which you can kind of see on the left and across the top, and they can see schools that then maybe match that criteria. So this is definitely a nice piece of free advertising that our member schools can take advantage of, and it's a great way to connect families to independent schools. So it might provide a list of families of schools that maybe that hadn't been on their list just based on their kind of search criteria. And it's also nice to see schools all in one location or region appear on the list. I know a lot of schools in various regions want to make sure they're on the list because they don't want to be the one school that's not on the list, so to speak. So it's a nice feature and something that our families utilize often. One of the other great resources that we have for families is our webinar series. So just like I'm here giving you a presentation on membership and services, we do offer families opportunities throughout the season to attend live webinars about the SSAT, reading their score reports, and also about our online application. And these presentations are given by our outreach team. It's nice because the schedule's a little maybe fuzzy on your end, but you can see that we give them at night. So we do that for two reasons. We really try to get all coasts, all time zones at a time where they would be able to log in, and also being sensitive to working parents. So they're all given at night. And once they've been presented, we then have the recordings on our website for families to access after. So between the attendees that go and join the live webinars and those that watched the recordings, we saw actually 32,000 families last year access these offerings. So that's been a huge win for everyone. It just provides families with a lot more information all at once, allows them to ask questions, and then it just provides some great takeaways for them. Kind of eases a little anxiety too, I think. So I just showed you our family and student website, SSAT.org. The other website that we maintain is our website for admission professionals, which is www.admission.org. And this is definitely one, if you haven't visited, it's definitely one you want to bookmark. So not only is this where our schools go to log into their map, which I've kind of circled at the top, but there's also a plethora of relevant articles, special reports, and resources available to you as an admission professional. We have blogs from a group called our Admission Leadership Council, webinars covering a variety of topics, presentations, a magazine, tons of stuff. It's all kind of at your fingertips here on admission.org. So I do strongly encourage everyone to make it a habit to almost visit our site daily and take advantage of the free resources and professional development opportunities that this website offers. As I mentioned in regards to our website, we do distribute a great amount of research, special reports, and articles to all of our member schools and organizations throughout the year. We do have a magazine, and it's called The Yield, and this is distributed 3 times throughout the admission season. So anyone that's a member school or organization automatically receives these publications in the mail. We we released a great report this winter called The Ride to Independent Schools, which you can see front and center here. And in this report, we kind of dissected the findings of a survey we conducted to families that were applying to independent schools. We're also gearing up to release our next report, which covers the topic of school choice and takes a look at the choices families now have outside of public and independent schools. So that could include charter schools, homeschooling, etc. So it's kind of a know the competition report. Another popular stop on our website is our webinars. We group our webinars into 4 main subject areas. You can see them there. It's kind of leadership, marketing, assessment, and data finance. And these are subjects that came up when we surveyed admission professionals. They stated they were the most interested in these topics. So we always try to group our work into those kinds of buckets. You can always sign up to attend a webinar live, just like we are here right now. But you can also go back to our website because we record all the webinars. So even if you weren't able to see something or something happened maybe a year ago, but it's of interest to you, you can just click on and watch it. So these tools are another piece that's kind of always available and at your fingertips. One of the great kind of things that we offer, and I think one of the things that we're very well known for, is our annual meeting. And it's held every September, and it's definitely the conference for admission professionals. It is focused solely on the information and resource needs that you as admission professionals need. And this past September, we were in Orlando. So we had our largest group yet of 700 there, which I've just put some fun pictures here. You can kind of see in the picture on the right, we had like a big, I don't know what word to use other than sign, but it was so much bigger than a sign, where we also grouped our workshops and those kinds of and speakers and things like that, again, in those buckets of leadership and marketing and data finance and assessment. So you could see at quick glance, if you have an overall goal of learning more about marketing, you could have gone to that big wall and kind of seen what was in that bucket. So we also try to use those themes in our conference programming. And then this year we will be in Las Vegas, which kicks off on September 16th, although my colleagues will tell me that we're not technically in Las Vegas. We're actually at the Red Rock, which is about 15 minutes off the Strip. And this year's program agenda can be found online on admission.org if you're interested in kind of seeing what the speaker and workshop offerings. I've listed kind of our 2 keynotes here, Crystal Washington and Drew Dudley on the slide. But we have a huge attendance every year, And it's a great opportunity to re-energize yourself at the start of the school year, hear some really remarkable speakers, and then obviously network with your fellow admission colleagues. So some more kind of things that we have on the PD front, or professional development front, and we do have a very active LinkedIn group, and they comment on a variety of topics. People post relevant articles and kind of talk about them. It's a nice forum to kind of share big picture and kind of comment on the landscape. We also just partnered with TABS, the Association of Boarding Schools, and Erdman LLC to deliver the Erdman Institute, which just was about a week and a half ago. And that was a retreat-style experience, which supported experienced mid-career senior admission professionals in their kind of PD. And then lastly, and perhaps most exciting for us, is we have partnered with USC to deliver the first ever Leadership and Enrollment Management online certificate program. And the other great thing is our board of directors has also committed to supplying some scholarship funds to our members that are interested in this program. And we just couldn't be more excited to offer our members this coursework and a certificate that's from an accredited university. So the last message that I thought was really important to convey is how dedicated we are to supporting our member schools. We have an outreach team. We have myself as Director of Membership. I oversee a Member Relations Associate that has actually been with our organization for over 20 years, a Director of Test Services, a Test Administration Manager, a Senior Director of Professional Development, a Marketing and Communications team, and a Professional Call Center that are all available and kind of dedicated and solely dedicated to serving our members. And I kind of just listed our phone number and email and our chat, a variety of ways to get in touch with us, but I do have my own personal contact information at the end of the presentation. And one of the other things that we're really committed to and passionate about is providing customized training on any of our services. So the SSATB outreach team, all of whom are former directors of admission, are regionally based. So they try and visit all of, most of our member schools to help them customize their use of our test, our application, services to meet their needs. I'm sure most, if not all, have met my colleague Dave Tybel, whose email address I've thrown up there on the screen, but he covers Texas as part of his territory. So should you have questions, Dave and I are glad to be your go-tos, I should say. So that about wraps up the topics that I wanted to cover today. I know it's kind of a lot of information, but that's obviously because of all of the incredible amount of services that we offer with SSATB membership. And I've really only been able to scratch the surface on a variety of topics. So if you have questions about anything I've covered or you want to dig deeper, that would, please feel free to reach out. I've obviously put up our various social media channels. You can follow us on any of those to kind of stay up to date on all things SSATB. And here's my contact information. So I encourage you to please call or email me or Dave or both should you have any questions, need further understanding of any of the topics I've covered today, or, hopefully if you're interested in joining our organization. So if you have any questions, you can just type them into the screen and I'll give it, or on the little sidebar, and I'll give it a few seconds. And yeah, I can answer any questions if anybody has any. Okay, so it's a quiet group, so I don't know, hopefully that's good. If you do think of anything after you kind of log off the webinar today, again, please write my email address down, write my phone number down, reach out. We're happy to help answer any questions you might have about membership, about our services, and how we can kind of get you all set up and running and using some of our great services at your school. So thank you so much for your time today. Have a great day, and I hope to hear from you soon.